It is time for a rebound week, and we're facing two teams that we could honestly beat. So I'm pretty excited, and let's talk some TSM. Hello, everybody. I'm Robert Haynes, and I'm your guide into the world of TSM's LCS team. For those of you OG people, that's part of an opening that I haven't used in a while, but I am excited to be back and talking about TSM with you guys as we head into week 6 of the LCS split, and we've got two pretty important games coming up. As you can see, I still am keeping this, timer or not timer, win total, not timer, below me, in order to make sure that we are, knowing what's going on, essentially. We again, I think 8 and 10 gets us into the playoffs. I think that sneaks us into the playoffs, and 9 wins would obviously be better, but after a really unfortunate 0-2 weekend, I am a little bit worried, but I think heading into this weekend, we should hopefully have a bit of a better time. But yeah, let's dive into the question of the day. As a reminder, if you haven't liked or subscribed to our channel, please do. But with that, also comment, where are you at with this team? What I mean by that is, basically just a gut check. How are you feeling still? We had the 2-0 weekend, into the 0-2 weekend, into the 1-1, into the 2-1, into the 0-2, right? So, we've been all over the board. That would be maybe an understatement. We are not exactly the model of consistency because I believe we're just trying to do more than what our team is currently capable of and where we are most comfortable. So, yeah, with that, we're going to dive into Evil Geniuses, the first game of the week on Thursday. And, Evil Geniuses are a very interesting team. They just also had an unfortunate 0-2 weekend. You know what? Let me check that to make sure. I'm saying that right now, and I'm 99% sure, but for some reason, my brain is no, they didn't, you idiot. Why would you do that? Yeah, they lost to Golden Guardians and to Dignitas. That's right. They gave Dignitas their first win. And, that's something that seems to kind of happen with them, where they just have these weird lapses, and they make themselves, I think they try to do something that's too cute, and it just doesn't, it doesn't work out, the way that they would like for it to. And, what I can tell you is in both of their games, just looking at them, reminding myself of them right now, they didn't really play traditionally, right? They made the mistake of playing the Jace and expecting the Maokai to be able to do enough AP damage. He did not. Thus, they were incapable of winning that first game on Thursday. Then on Friday, I probably made the mistake of overlooking Golden Guardians. Hopefully not, now that they're on a 7 freaking game winning streak. But they also didn't have a traditional tank. They had Vi and Jax both in the front, and I think that those kinds of comps are really tough to execute, especially when your team is still relatively new and at, two arguably, especially a very important position in AD carry, but also in the top lane. And I think that that's where, when I'm looking at Evil Geniuses, normally when they draft their way, where they draft their style, they still have somebody on a tank, whether it's, Vulcan inspired or someday, and they can play a little bit of, front to back. That's where I think that they thrive, especially right now. Because of that, sorry to step in here. I had a whole thing planned out for Neo, but then, the plans changed, and I'm glad I didn't get my episode out early. I know this one's going to be a little bit later, mostly because of the fact that, I wasn't anticipating this move. The man you're seeing on your screen right now is Wild Turtle, and the guy who has just been announced to be taking over for Neo on the main team. Now, I have a full video coming out about Wild Turtle and what I think he's going to bring to the team, and I still think against Evil Geniuses, he's going to be paramount because it's not only his first game back since, I want to say 2020, maybe 2021 even. I'd have to go back in check again. But it's been a bit since Wild Turtle came out, onto the LCS stage. But he's got so much experience, guys, right? Like, he's been through it all, right? He's won an LCS championship. He has gone to Worlds. He has been put in tough situations. I mean, the beginning of his career was replacing a pretty iconic player for TSM and coming in and just playing out of his mind. Now, I don't know if we're going to get that same magic in this game for against, I should say, Evil Geniuses, right? They are at least a top 3 team. I know they're coming off of, like I said, an 0-2 weekend, but I still think that Wild Turtle is, I mean, he's at least going to be a stabilizing force, hopefully, right? We just don't need him to lose his lane. I don't know that I would have made him the player to watch this week necessarily. I probably would move that to Chime now that he's going to be playing yet again with another 80 carry. This poor guy has had 3 different 80 carries, I believe, since he has been with TSM. Yeah, he has, because you had Instinct, Tactical, actually this will be 4, Neo, and now Wild Turtle. He's had 4 different 80 carries since he has joined TSM, and he has barely been with us for now combined over a split. So the fact that they're continuously changing things up on him, he's still playing as well as he is absolutely incredible. This will be his best 80 carry that he has played with, though, to date. And I'm confidently going to say that, because not only is he a legend, yes, he's a little bit older, maybe mechanically he's not the best, but in terms of babysitting and intelligence in lane, especially a place where we have been pretty bad, honestly, Wild Turtle's going to be the best one. And it will allow Chime, I think, to do some things that maybe he wouldn't have done. Now, the connection there is going to be a bit of a problem. They are going up against FBI and Vulcan, who are arguably the best bot lane in the entire LCS. And I say combined, I obviously know Prince has been the best 80 carry, but he's had 2 different supports. I think Vulcan's the best support, and I think FBI is probably the second best 80 carry. So I would say they're the best bot lane, most likely, in the LCS. And it's going to be interesting to see what Wild Turtle plays here. He's been playing a lot of Xayah. I would expect us to play Xayah. It's a super safe pick. It scales pretty well. It does well in lane as well. And Rakan is also the best champion that Chime plays, right? At least as of right now, from what we have seen in his time with TSM. So if you can get Xayah Rakan here, I don't care about Lucian Nami. I don't care about Caitlyn. I don't care about Varus. I don't care about the rest of that, right? I know that you technically need a lot of coordination to play those, but I think the 2 of them are good enough, especially at their respective champions, to be able to play those champions well together. I'm sure even just a couple of practices have been hopefully enough for them to feel comfortable using that combination. But I really didn't anticipate this, and it's going to be interesting considering, like, this news dropped the day before we're about to play Evil Geniuses. So go check out that other video if you want some deeper thoughts on Wild Turtle, but I do think he is going to be still very important for what we're doing. So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen yet, but I'm interested to see. So yeah, with that, back to your regular scheduled programming. We head into the Team Liquid game, which I cannot believe I'm saying this, but we do have another opportunity to go 2-0, right? Those 2-0s are very important against teams like CLG, 100 Thieves, well, we can't do 100 Thieves, but CLG, Team Liquid, and Immortals specifically. Those are, tiebreakers, and we already lost the one to CLG. I would really like to not lose this one to Team Liquid, because I do believe that this is another game that's going to be very important for determining our place in the standings. And I think that this is a team that is under a lot of pressure. Like, the rumors have been that they're practicing like crazy, that they're doing okay in scrims, but for some reason they're just not on the same page. And it's very strange considering, like, the whole thing was they're all going to speak Korean. They're all going to be, they just brought in a freaking literal world champion. And, you have Core JJ, who's, one of the 3 best players in LCS history, at least in my opinion. You have Summit, who won MVP the last time that he was here in the summer. And they're just not coming together, it feels like. They're just consistently making mistakes later in the game. And that's what they did against us. I went back and reminded myself, and this was one of the first games where we really actually had a comp that I really liked, right? We did the Azir for Maple. We had a Callista on Neo. Chime was just hitting arrow after arrow on the Ashe. We got Solo's Ornn, and Boogie had Graves. This is a similar kind of comp that I would like, if I'm being honest with you. I really like that Maple was able to get a counter pick against the Akali. I think that, again, I've talked about Callista and Neo. It's one of his best champions of all time. She's not like the super strongest, but she's pretty good. And while she won't scale incredibly well, when you have something like an Ornn and you have something like an Azir, and even a Graves in this situation, it doesn't really matter how well the Callista scales, because even if she doesn't do super well in lane, she's going to help you get a lot of objective control, and she's just generally still pretty useful. I'm not saying that you should pick her, but this was the first time we kind of saw the comp that we are used to seeing, which is tank top, engage, well, not really engage here in Boogie, but more of a, I don't know, carry-oriented playmaking ability champion in the jungle, a good scaling, high skill ceiling champion like Azir for Maple, and then it looked like it was a solid bot lane overall. I really, really think that we need to kind of get back to this. And against Team Liquid, I think it's going to be up to Maple, honestly, to carry us like extremely hard in this game if we want to win, because Harry has not been bad, especially as a rookie, but he is absolutely somebody who can be taken advantage of. They can potentially trap him into certain picks that would, not necessarily give him an advantage. And when Maple is at his best, when this team is at his best, he's able to get around the map, roam around the map, make plays, get a lot of kills, generally speaking, and pour out damage. That did not happen last week. They did not really enable Maple like I think that they need to, and I would like more focus on him. And I think that, honestly, he's going to be the difference maker, and he's going to be the reason why I'm going to pick us to win this game and go 2-0 over Team Liquid, because they are 100% beatable. I don't care what anybody says. You can take this team down. I know that they're supposed to be better than us. They, talent-wise, are probably better than us, but I think when we play, 2023 Spring Split TSM League of Legends, we win games. And Maple, I think, is a major, major, major part of that. So I'm really hoping to see him do the deed, do what he needs to do to help us get that dub. And this would be a huge win. I mean, absolutely massive win. This would basically almost guarantee us 7th place. Because I think Team Liquid would drop to, what is it? Maybe, I think they're 4-6 right now, so it would drop them at a minimum to 5-8, right? Which means that they would only need, have two games left to win or to lose before they might be 3 games. Sorry, brain's not functioning correctly. Still a little tired from my trip, but regardless, it would put them into a bad position. It would give us the automatic tiebreaker over them. We wouldn't have to play them in another best of one, and it would put us only 2 wins away from that magic 8 number that I am talking about. And no, I'm not talking about the magic 8 ball. I'm just still talking about the number of wins that we need to get to. So yeah, I had a lot to say about these ones, because I think these 2 games are going to be, again, really important. Every game from here on out is important. And if we could find, a way to beat Evil Geniuses, and even if we lose to Team Liquid, that's okay. Right? We really just need to go at least 1-1. I would prefer not to have to do tiebreakers, but finding a way to get some wins here in this second half is going to be imperative. We have to. We need just 3 more. 3 more in 7 games. That's it. And we still play Immortals and we still play Dignitas. So let's hope that happens. Let me know what you guys are feeling in the comment section below. But with that, I'll catch you guys on the next one.